Hi ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Thank you so much for your previous likes, comments and subscriptions to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, why not click on that button and ring the bell so you can get notifications whenever I'm dropping content on the channel. And now onto the topic of this video, and it's my first look at Alfred, the exclusive hero as part of the new Castle Era event. Of course, we've had a massive lead up to Alfred, all of his journal and logins being shared with us in the official Discord group almost every day. We've had the Chronicle event where you could collect these kind of fragment options for him, which will give you between 5 and 40 fragments. And then obviously we've had several updates about him. So let's go straight in and in fact, let's go to the developer's mail from the other day. So guide on Alfred. So they've talked about the skills, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. The first thing to clarify and to confirm that is that they class him as an exclusive hero, and he needs, including the first copy you get for him, you need 34 copies in total. Yes, that is the same as Cleo from the anniversary event, and I know how you all felt about Cleo. And I just think this is a absolutely horrendous decision by the devs to do a similar hero again. And I've already kind of voiced my frustration about it to them. I did say, you know, they should really stay away from these kind of heroes. They're only going to cater for a minority of the community. And as you can see from this comment at the below, as an exclusive hero it takes multiple medals to upgrade Alfred, but the hero fragments are easy to obtain. Well, so far I've only got enough for 2 copies of him, the first copy and the first duplicate. I know there are still opportunities to get more fragments for him in the coming days in the Castle Era event, but I don't have any clarification from the devs in terms of what happens once this event finishes. Is it going to be like Cleo, that it's simply a line of the haves and have-nots? If you didn't get enough of Cleo before the end of the anniversary event, you just couldn't max her? Or are they going to at least release some other events where everyone can get extra fragments for him? Is he going to end up in the bar and we can get fragments for him? Even though, can you imagine trying to get 33 copies from fragments? I'd probably be an old man collecting my pension by the time I got 33 copies if we had to do it that way. And it then says participate in the extension pack event to get tons of Alfred fragments for free. You can also participate in the subsequent events to be the first to have Alfred. So as I already covered in my Castle Era video on Tuesday, we do have, oh, there's so many events going on at the moment. We had, is it even still on anymore? Maybe it's not. I can't even keep up with everything. Benefit Center. Yeah, Dragon's Crypt. So this Dragon's Crypt event is giving people several copies of Alfred from the 12 spins, and you have to, the only way you can get these dragon scales is by buying them, of course. So it's just giving, that's the kind of premium element to him. And yeah, I haven't had it confirmed about whether we're going to have any opportunities to pick him up in the future. I really hope the devs are going to listen, and I have already gave an extensive feedback about Alfred to them this week already, and said about, you know, just these kind of heroes are just really demoralizing for everyone else playing the game. And we'll see what they do. But if they give me any other if they give me any updates in terms of availability of collecting more fragments for him in the future, then of course I'll let you know. So that's quite a big intro for one of my hero videos. So let's get into this first look on Alfred. And as you can see, when you click on him, you can see King of the Empire Alfred. He is an exclusive hero, as it says here. The growth of exclusive heroes is different from that of ordinary ones. They require different items to unlock skills. They require hero medals to upgrade their skills. He is a melee hero, so that's front row most of the time, and he's a cavalry hero, so he's not as versatile as Cleo was, as she was a general hero. Alfred is for cavalry only. Let's look at his skills. Skill 1 is the usual. marching capacity, no difference there. Maybe it would have been interesting to at least they could have increased the marching capacity for him if he's so exclusive. I don't know. Skill 2 is Soul Sucker. It's a combat skill, effective range of 3, so that makes sense with him going on the front row. It's going to target 2 random enemy squads. 25% chance, and we'll come back to this in a minute before everyone's going, what? 25% chance to deal 268% damage to 2 enemy squads, so that's a total of 536 damage, which is okay in this day and age, but it's not great. It's not going to do as much damage as, say, Aslan's second skill, which is going to give you probably 750% damage, and it's much more regular. Within the valid range, and make the target's troop power restoring effect drop by 40%. And then if the target is already subjected to a troop status that stops it from restoring troop power or curbs its power restoration, so basically troop recovery block, as I've been calling it for the last couple of years, the target will take 30% more skill damage for 1 round. So lots of kind of factors, 3 different elements to this skill, so that is a positive. There's lots of different elements. Reducing troop recovery obviously will help, and the combination of also increasing skill damage, but of course again it means that if this hero is going to have to work in cavalry skill combos. You can't put him in the kind of Rosen type combinations with basic attacks, because you're not going to benefit from this skill damage. So no point in putting with Immortal, etc., or Ranger, I would say. So that's skill 2. 3 and 4 are the usual, extra 50% resistance and might, of course, nothing new there. Skill 5, Lethal Blade, combat skill again, effective range of 4, and this is targeting 3 random enemy squads. So you could put Alfred in the middle row and he's not going to lose any of his capabilities from his skills, because that second skill, even at range 3, it will just target the front and middle row of the opponent's squad each time. 20% chance, even less chance on this skill, to deal 371% massive damage to all enemy squads. Now that is 1113% damage, which that is a significant amount of damage for sure, and one of the better damage dealers that we've seen. But it's at the price of making all of your squads take 95% damage, which is 285%. So it's about a quarter of... So really, is there that much benefit to this skill? Not really. You're actually looking at the difference between the difference in damage between you and the opponent is actually, my math is failing me right now. What is it? 850%, which that is then not so great. Also, something to highlight now, and hopefully you guys have all realised by now, Alfred is 100% going to work with Warhammer, because Warhammer is constantly doing troop recovery block, which means that on skill 2 this is always going to be active, this extra 30% skill damage. And of course, if Alfred's 5th skill is doing damage to all of your squads, that is going to boost the reflective skill on Warhammer's 2nd skill. It builds up and then activates after a certain amount of damage taken by all your squads. So, and obviously his 5th skill also does damage, but at a much lower level. So this is quite harmful to yourself, actually. Let's have a look at skill 6. It's extra... I don't know why they put cavalry damage. It's increased. It's extra damage, 15% extra damage, and extra might. So he is more like about doing damage than... he's not tanky at all, to be honest. He doesn't recover his own troops. He doesn't have HP. He doesn't have might. So, he doesn't have resistance. So he's all about potentially helping do more damage to your opponent than maybe lasting in the battle to the end, potentially. I don't know. And then let's look at this 8th skill, Hard-Won Victory. It's a status skill, so it's going to activate in pre-battle and always be effective. It's targeting his squad, so 1 random for any squad. And of course, he is a cavalry hero. Now, Alfred takes the mission into an emergency when the troop power of his squad drops below 90%, 70%, 50%, and 30% for the first time. Alfred will have 50% more chance to cast combat skills lasting 1 round. So in effect, this is 4 times in the battle potentially. You are going to give yourself, you're going to give your skill 2 75% chance to activate, and your skill 5 70% chance to activate. Of course, those with high level of lofty tech points can increase that percentage even further. Do I like this? Not massively, because, you know, there's a chance that his skill, you know, anyone that's like used to use Orochi in his original name, you know, his, what was it, his third skill, his fifth skill was 25% activation, and there were so many battles where that just didn't activate. So at 20 and 25% chance in the other rounds, so potentially you could be going at, and this relies on, it's only the first time. What if your troop count doesn't actually ever drop below, say, 50%? Then you might only get it to work 90 or 70 for twice in the battle, and then you're relying on these other skills potentially activating to do any damage. The other problem with him is that obviously he is heavily reliant on combat. So what happens if, say, you're up against a you know, another skill combo which is going to do status combo that is going to do a lot of either silencing or suppressing, then that could potentially just completely shut down Alfred, because on the few turns that he's actually got this ability to increase his skills, if these skill 2 and 5 are silenced, he's not going to do anything for you. And obviously he's available to a broad section of the game. So, you know, the devs have already said in that email, he is going to work with Roku and Living Saint, and the reason for that in the earlier stages of the game, and the reason for that is Living Saint has troop recovery block on her 5th skill, and that impacts on all 3 of the opponent's squads. The other good thing with Living Saint is she does a very high amount of skill damage. You know, her 8th skill guarantees skill damage every turn. So she does, you know, there is a lot of synergy there. Other heroes in terms of troop recovery blocks that are going to trigger this extra 30% damage on the skill 2 is very limited. Like Liberator does it, but only for that's a passive skill, so it's only for one squad that he's attacking most likely. Fortune Teller only does it for the marked target, which is one squad, and even like Jade Eagle does have troop recovery block. And initially I was thinking, oh, you could do maybe Alfred, El Cid to boost Jade Eagle's skills, and then Jade Eagle, because Jade Eagle has obviously a lot of skill damage as well. But of course, that troop recovery on Jade Eagle's 5th skill only targets footmen. So again, 2 out of 3 potentially, you know, most people are still running with a lot of cavalry combos. So you've got a low chance of that being successful. So really, later stages of the game, you're looking at using, as they have said, Lawman, Alfred, Warhammer, because Lawman does have a lot of skill damage as well from her 2nd skill, etc. Plus she's going to heal, which you're going to need because he doesn't do any. He's not tanky at all. And you're then, of course, you've got this perfect synergy with Warhammer. The other option is with Alfred, Warhammer, Avalanche, is that obviously you're guaranteeing this extra damage from Alfred, and obviously Avalanche can do a ton of damage herself. So that, in my mind, is the best option. If you're wanting to use Avalanche in another combination for whatever reason, then, you know, maybe if you love using Brave Ragnar Avalanche, then you could replace Avalanche with Scarlet Reaver, for instance, because Scarlet does a lot of combat damage. But then equally, are you going to break up the Aslan healer Scarlet combo for this combo? It's not going to be as consistent. No way. As I say, this can be really shut down by status combos. So right now, I mean, I think we need to see this in effect, but I don't see how Alfred is going to be that OP, just because, you know, maybe if they had made this like 45% and 40% here, then I would say, whoa, hang on a minute, like he could be activating these skills multiple times in the battle, he could be doing a lot of damage. But for him to be so, like, if you look at the Alfred Warhammer Avalanche combo, you've got no healing going on there, and he is not, and as I say, he's not tanky, so you could be losing him. What happens if he gets absolutely annihilated by, you know, I don't know, whichever combo you want to choose that is going to target the front row, and then actually you're not getting any use out of him. So if you lose him early in the battle, because he's only don't forget, this is only, I presume, well, yeah, the skills are only, even imagine if you get absolutely hammered in one round and it drops belief 90 and 70% in that same round. By my reading of this, you're only still going to get that 50% more chance, right, for one round in the next round. So if you do get absolutely hammered and lose more than 20% of your health, could it be that you're going to lose a chance for an extra chance for this extra 50%? Again, we'll have to see how he works in game once people have him max. But yeah, I'm not really enthused by him, to be honest, guys. I don't know. I just think he's such a limited hero. You've got to put him with Warhammer. You have to put in later stages of the game. You have to put him with Warhammer. Is it worth giving up all of the top level combos that Warhammer's in to put Warhammer with Alfred? Right now, I'm not. I don't think so. I would definitely, for me, I'm rating him a 2 right now, and I just don't see how he's going to improve that score unless he's absolutely destroying people some combos, but I just don't see him being that versatile. Of course, I'm sure lots of people have comments about this hero, and I'm almost certain that most of them are going to be negative. So, of course, please do pop your comments in the comment section down below. If you have actually liked this video, then please do click on that like. And if you could share this video and my channel in your Alliance chat, Province chat, through Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, whatever you use to communicate with your fellow players in the game. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.